What's up, everybody? Good to have you here on today's Grant Teach Me Something. We're going to be starting to talk about a topic that comes up intermittently, but is nonetheless extremely important, which is how much rehab should you rehab? Fixing up. What do you actually put into it? What do you pass by on and that kind of thing to make sure that you're actually investing money into this property and not just spending money to spend money. Okay? CreativeCashFlow.com. Thanks for joining me today. Let's hop on in. So here's the deal. I partnered with a brilliant guy for the first 6 or 7 years of my career. He just kept hammering in, which was a wonderful phrase for thinking about how to deal with your rehabs, is to get rid of the negatives. Don't worry so much. That's one of the things that you've got to remember. At the end of the day, this property is an investment for you, right? This property is something that you want to return money for you for putting money in. As to why you should put money into any single item in a rehab. Reason number one is it's going to make your house sell faster. Reason number two is you're going to get a return. Let's look at some examples of that. I had a house a few years ago over in Fort Worth that we were going to rehab, and I got in the comps for it. It was going to sell for like $75,000, something like that kind of stuff. Well, then when I went back, I was like, you know what? I started looking at all these other houses because we tore up the flooring that was there, and there was some hardwood under there, as was common with a lot of these 30s and 40s houses. I don't remember it was built, but there was some hardwood under there. And so I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, okay, let's go look at the houses in the neighborhood that sold that had hardwoods in it. Well, again, $95,000. So I talked to my crew head and I was like, hey, how much would it take to refinish these hardwoods and make them nice? Make them to where they're something. I think it was under $5,000. So when you think about that, I put in $5,000 and I got an extra 20 grand on the sales price. That's a great return on investment, right? $5,000 and $1,000 profit on five. That's a 300% yield. That's awesome. Love that. That's a reason to put something into the rehab. I do focus on bathrooms and on kitchens. Okay, bathrooms and kitchens are going to be the two areas that sell houses. That's where you can actually spend a little bit more money on materials in areas that don't require that much material. This is where I get into the sells the house faster mentality. Okay, because if I look at rehabs in the area and I look at the comps, which by the way, I should state that to begin with, this is all based on comps. If you run your comps in the neighborhood and everybody has hardwoods and granites, you need to put hardwoods and granites in. If you run your comps and everybody has, laminates and formica, then use laminates and formica, right? Don't go in just guessing, well, I'm going to be able to get a lot more if I spend so much more on my granites when all of your comps have formica on it, because you don't have proof that that's going to actually do anything for you, right? You don't have proof that that's actually going to return a yield for you. So I probably should have started with that the comps determine the level of rehab. But you've got to understand that the money that you're putting in either has to sell that house faster or has to give you a return on your investment. So if you're going to sell your house faster, the areas where I feel like you can put a little bit more money into it and have that be worth it is going to be the bathroom and the kitchen. The reason why I say that is that if you are looking at the tile for a tub surround or the tile for a backsplash, you may only have 150 or 200 square feet that you got to fill on that. So you spend an extra $1 or $2 on your tile and you're only putting in another $300 or $400 into the total of your rehab. It's a $35,000 rehab. And people stress out about this, $300 or $400. That's gonna make a difference in how quickly that house sells. So yeah, man, spend money on an extra couple bucks on your tile and your tub surround. Spend a little bit more on your backsplash in your kitchen. You've got 40 square feet there. If you put an extra $4 into it, right? You see what I'm saying? Like in the whole grand scheme of things, these things are not costing you a ton more money in your rehab. And goodness, let me tell you how freaking tired I am of seeing travertine put into rehabs. It's been like, okay, yeah, it's a 97-cent tile or a $1.97 tile. Woohoo, you saved $200 and now you look like every other investor rehab that's ever been done for the past 25 years, right? Like, stay away from travertine. I'm so done with travertine. But I wanted to show you guys some examples of rehab. Example of what do I mean when I say remove the negatives and don't worry so much about the positives. Thank you guys for being here. Matt, I see you commenting there. Matt, good to see you. So let's jump in. Let me look at this here. So this was a rehab that I did. Here's the original photos of what it looked like, right? It was an 80s build, I believe, had that old 80s carpeting in it. It's a nice enough kitchen. Here's another part that I want to stress to you, right? Here's bathrooms. You know, the bathrooms are kind of hard to tell where everything sits inside of it. I think I've got a little, I think here's like a short video to show what this bathroom is. So this is the master bathroom. And you've got this tiny little blue toilet, which is super awesome. But, let me turn the volume. But there's a tiny little shower there, and then a kind of nook that hits into the, other side, and then you're looking at a closet right there, right? So we've got some space to work with. Bathrooms and kitchens, again, those are the things that sell your houses. This is the guest bathroom, where this is the other side of that nook. You're seeing the other side of that we just saw. Pink, awesome pink tiled. The commode is sitting right there. And then you've got a closet right there that we're passing on. Okay. So I did spend some time in design on this one. I said, look, I feel like we've got some wasted space here, right? Because if you look here, like you've got this closet space right here, and you've got in the other bathroom, here we go. This is the other bathroom where it kind of had the nook. You got the nook here, and then there was some closet space right here. Now, that was the master bedroom's closet. So I did have to make a decision. I did have to say, okay, if I get rid of this closet, is it going to be a big deal? Is it going to affect my saleability of this property? And I decided not. I decided if I made a nice bathroom in there, that not having that master closet was actually going to be fine. And I was correct in that guess, right? So we saw walking in the nice, awful carpeting. And, this was like you walk in and this is directly to the side. And let me show you what we ended up with. I went in there and I put... This was the entrance, and this is just a vinyl plank. Guys, I'm such a big fan of the luxury vinyl plank. It is a great material. It is hardy. It is something that is, waterproof. If something messes up, you can replace just one of them, and they're inexpensive and they look nice, right? So just purely replacing the carpets there, removing those negatives, I didn't have to go and do like a full-blown $7 per foot hardwood. This luxury vinyl plank is really good. And at the time, I think I got it installed for like $1.50 totally. So here's the view of that room that I just showed you looking over the side, just with some new paint on it and the vinyl plank on the bottom. Here's that living room, right? Vinyl plank. I didn't even paint it on that one. The paint was fine. We go into the kitchen, and this is a big lesson that I want to teach you guys on the rehabs. So many times people just assume they're going to have to go in there and fix and replace all the cabinetry. You don't have to replace the cabinetry, man. A nice paint on top of this, an oil-based paint on top of the cabinetry goes a huge distance, and you replace the pulls and it saves you so much money. But here's where we ended up going with the bathroom. I should have gotten like a video walkthrough of this, but here's the guest bathroom. I removed that little nook. That's where that, in the guest, remember, here's the commode. That's where that little nook was for the vanity to be stuck back there. So I just pulled the wall all the way out here so that we could use that space in the master bathroom, because buyers of homes want their master bathroom to be really nice. I did a nice floating vanity here. It was like a $900 vanity. And I always used this mirror from Home Depot and this lighting set. I mean, it was like a $60 mirror and $60 lighting set, something like that. It's cheap, but it looks nice, right? I turned this into the guest bathroom. This is an Alaskan white from Floor & Decor. I love that tile. I'm actually putting that into my cabin right now. And then just a nice little accent piece that goes across there, symmetrically on the shower head. Did put carpets into the bedrooms there. And then this is the master bath, right? So because I extended that wall out from the nook, I took out this little closet. We had so much more space to work with. I put a vanity in there. You can see the mirror and light here. Surprisingly enough, it actually was centered. It just looks terrible on this picture. And then we built out an actual shower, right? Put you can see that Alaskan white tile that I told you that I like so much there. Put some accent. Now, I really like doing this right here, okay? This is a way to extend a smaller space. It's taking a tile. I like using these wood look tiles to kind of tie in what we've done on the floor. I like wood look tiles on the floor in bathrooms. And then whichever direction is longer in that tub or in that shower area, take that tile and make it vertical on that line as well, and it really extends visually the space. I'm going to show you another example of that here in a second that may have a little bit better of a photo on that one, but it extends that space. Put a shower head up there, did not cost that much, right? These tiles, yes, they were a little bit more expensive than travertine, but that Alaskan white, I think that Alaskan white was like a $3 tile instead of $1.97 for the travertine. How much nicer does this look? I think this was a $2.50 tile instead of a $3.50 tile instead of a $1.97 travertine. But just putting a little bit of effort in just goes so far in making sure that this is going to look nicer whenever all is said and done. Let's look at this one. I loved this one particularly, and this was a great sale because when the buyer bought it from me, when we were at closing, they literally were like, you know, we bought it because that bathroom was so nice. I was like, sweet, because I spent time on that bathroom. See, because I'll spend time designing a nice bathroom. It doesn't take that much money to add extra materials in, but same thing here, actually. I actually killed the master closet in this room, which is a kind of a bold move, but it sold immediately. This was at a time when houses were not selling immediately, and the buyer was like, that bathroom is just so nice. We had to have it. So it used to be that the master bathroom went into the hall for everybody to use. And then this is, standing in that doorway. And you'd go down here and you'd turn right, and that was the door that took you into the master bedroom. And this right here was closet for the master bedroom. And then I think AC unit went right here, if I'm not mistaken. You had a vanity, you had a small little nook for the commode, and you had the tub right there. It was very cramped. I did not like it. Sam, I am. I did not like this bathroom can. So then, and that's just kind of looks at what those were. So then what I did, and this is the other example of the bathroom thing here, is I extended that space out. I took out those closets, made it a much larger bathroom, and just moved things around considering where the plumbing was. I didn't have to move any of the plumbing underneath because we already had commode plumbing, we already had vanity plumbing, we already had shower plumbing. Let's just move things around inside of that. The other piece that I'll show you on this one is the kitchen, right? And I forgot to get in there to get pictures of the before, but you can see the kitchen here had a wall. This on the left was the living room. This is the kitchen here. And look at these cabinets. Now, how many of you, I'd love to hear your comments. How many of you would have come into this rehab and said, I need to replace these cabinets? Okay. Comment in the video here. I want to know if you had seen this, you'd have been like, dude, these cabinets are terrible. I need to replace them. I didn't. This wall, this was adding a positive, okay, in the kitchen, but removing a wall like that is like $200, $250. It was non-load bearing, so it's just knocking that thing out. It doesn't take a lot of money to remove a wall like that. This doorway was super small right here, so we just extended it out to be larger, put a new header in there. Again, I think it was an extra $200 to do that. But where we ended up was here. Check out this kitchen, guys, right? I knocked that wall out, put luxury vinyl plank down on the ground, and just repainted the cabinets. That is a Formica. Now, we've got a really nice Formica print that we like, but that was a Formica that I put on. It looked really nice. I didn't spend a whole ton of money on it. My comps didn't say that I needed granites. Put a slide-in range right there and really opened that space up. Really made that an area that people wanted to be in. Put a stainless washer in there, and then look, remember when I said those cabinets were crap? I think if I remember right, this cabinet was kind of broken and they didn't have a washer anyway. Am I remembering? Yeah. So I did have like a broken cabinet over here. I think this door was actually broken or something like that. You can kind of see it hanging. So I just cut it out. And I put that washer right there, right? I removed a negative, used a little bit of creativity, and just painted these cabinets. And all together, I didn't spend very much at all on this kitchen. And look how nice it is, right? It's vinyl plank. Spent a little bit on the range right here. That was about it. An extra maybe $300 or $400 by knocking that door open, knocking this wall down, used Formica, painted the cabinets. Looks like a brand spanking new, beautiful kitchen. Here's a view from the living room of what I was talking about. That used to be the wall right there. We made a little nice bar area. And it just, look how much more it opens it up, right? Did not cost a lot of money. We removed some negatives on it. Now, here's our master bedroom or our master bathroom. Remember how I said that we just kind of knocked some. So I'm standing where those closets were. I took the closet door and made that the doorway into the bathroom, and I closed off the closet door that was to the right so that it would have a little bit larger of a shower. This is where the vanity used to be. So we already had plumbing there. So I just put the commode over there and made a doorway to shut it. This wall already existed, remember? This was where the commode was, so we had plumbing there. So we just used that plumbing to go up on our faucets. And then I had the tub plumbing. I think we did have to move over, if I remember right, but it was pier and beam, so it made it easy enough. We did have to move the drain, now that I'm thinking about that, to move over. But again, you can see this wood look tile, right, that I did a vertical wall with. And this was out in the country on like 5 acres, so I went with a rustic, like a brown wood look tile on the ground and a lipless, doorless entry to the shower where you can just walk right in. This is still Alaskan white. I just used a 24 by 24 tile on it. Look how nice that bathroom looks, right? And it just didn't take that much money. It took some creativity, took some time thinking through it, but I just made that Alaskan white kind of pull over. This is where the old door used to be that went into the master bedroom. I'm standing where the closets used to be. Huge bathroom. I might have spent an extra $1,000 on the rehab totally because I went and wanted to do like a crazy rehab on that bathroom because there was space for it. But it sold immediately, and the first thing that the buyer said to me was, man, we couldn't pass on it. That bathroom was so nice. I've got a couple more examples here, right? This is a little bit less expensive of a home. But look how like tore up this is, right? You just look at the things that need to happen in here. Yeah, the paint is bad. Why does this wall even exist? It's not load bearing. It's separating the living room from the kitchen, which is on the other side of that wall. And then I'm trying to see. Yeah, so there's the kitchen there. This is the kitchen, super small, just ugly. Just ugly at the end of the day. The tile was messed up and that kind of stuff. And then they had started to convert the garage, but they didn't finish. They just had this large, like, window or sliding glass, I can't even remember what that was, into like a semi-converted garage area. It was hideous. Bathrooms here, here's that semi-converted garage. And so we were able to go in there, throw some paint on it. Look how much, this is the before, just an uglier, paint. Doesn't take much to paint the exterior there. Look how much nicer that looks. Replaced a couple of windows, and boom, here we go. Vinyl plank on the floor, removed that wall. This is where that wall was. How much nicer does that look? That wall removal cost me $300. Went ahead and finished out that converted garage area right there. Got a little bit nicer of a hanging fixture. Made a washer dryer closet inside of that closet that used to be the utility. And here's our kitchen. Painted cabinetry. Actually, you know what? I think I might have replaced these cabinets now that I think about it. I think those cabinets were broken and stuff. But, paid a little bit more for the backsplash here. But how many square feet is that? It's not, what is it? 3 feet by maybe 50 square feet there? Right? Put them a place for the now I'm curious if that is the original cabinetry, because so often I don't replace, I only paint. Where was that picture? Yeah, okay, so I did replace those cabinets on that one. Okay. But again, that was an instance where everything was broken. We had the room and the budget to do it. We went in. But look, guys, you'll see I'm using similar materials. That's still my Alaskan white. That's still my accent piece. That's still that window or that mirror I was talking about, right? Made the shower area over here. And last one I'll show you. I'm going to skip over this guy. Well, actually, no, I'm not, because I'm going to show you a similarity of what I did. So this one was similar, right? We had the living room here, which was blocked off into the kitchen on the other side. Okay. But we wanted to open it up a little bit. I wanted to give people a little bit bigger space to be working with. So let me look for the after photos in here, and I'll just show you that kitchen area because of what a big difference it can do to just knock out a wall. It's a very similar build to that other one that I did. Formica, repainted the cabinets, put in that slide-in range, carpet, wood look tile here, makes a huge difference. People loved it, right? Now, La Mesa was one of mine that was a lower budget house. It's like a $140,000 house, but this is what it looked like. kind of busted up garage doors, not very nice from the front. Windows were bad. And when you walked in, this was the living room. You got your chimney right here and like a random brick divider wall. These are negatives, right? That's weird. Why is that there? That doesn't even make sense. And this looks so bad, like cleaning that up, the negatives of the tile being on the ground, that kind of stuff. Here's the kitchen. Yellow Formica, sweetness. Converted garage. The bathroom, here we go. I don't like travertine, I told you. But again, spend your money where you have to. At the end of the day, that bathroom's tile was not that bad. What we did is we just cleaned it. I had my cleaner go in there and clean it really hard to save me the money of having to do anything to it. Here's the master bathroom before. They had some cabinetry here, which big whoop, and a tiny shower, standing shower right there. The tiny standing shower, which had a mouse hole in the bottom of it. Active rat problem I had to get an exterminator out for. That was nasty. But here we go. Here's the after, right? That's where that crazy brick wall was. There's some vinyl plank. Here's some carpet. Put a little vinyl plank entryway on it, and then just painted the chimney to make sure that it looked nicer, right? Put a Formica top and then restained the cabinetry, paid a little bit more for that glass backsplash, but again, it did not cost me that much. Just knocking this thing down, it was like $40 to knock it down. Paint that thing, not a big deal, right? We're just removing the negatives. Here's another look at that kitchen. We just stained it. Those cabinets are the same cabinets, right? It just fit a little bit better with what we were doing in there. And then here's that master bathroom, right? That's where those cabinets were that were kind of unnecessary with a small little standing shower. Just took those cabinets out. Look how much nicer this looks. Just extended it, right? Made it a normal size. Hey, look, it's my lights in my mirror again, right? You're starting to see the benefits of holding on to those materials. And here we go. That travertine wouldn't have been my first choice, but this did save me several $100s that allowed me to reappropriate that money into nicer finish outs someplace else. So you make your decision. Was this a real negative? Is this going to be something that somebody would say, I don't want to buy this house because it has travertine? No. This was in the guest bathroom. So I was able to use the money for the master bathroom and make it look really nice. The extra money saved on not doing that tub surround there was used in removing this cabinetry and moving that plumbing back, and boom, there we go. We stayed inside of budget and made everything look really good. So again, when you are looking at your rehabs, the first thing that you're looking at is to remove the negatives, and then you're looking at, is this money I'm going to be putting in going to give me a return, or is this money going to flip this house faster? Cole asked the question, is this for a flip or an owner financing end strategy? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. The one that we did here, this one was a flip, I think. Yeah, that one was a flip, which is another reason why I spent a little bit more time and money on this bathroom. I wanted it gone. That's a great saying. We all hear you make your money when you buy. You make your money when you buy. You lose your money when you flip. Flipping is the only one where you have like a definitive time where it's like you either made money or you lost money. Boom, that's it, right? In owner financing, you sell that thing. Maybe you didn't get what you wanted for it. It's just going to take you longer to make money, but you still make money, right? Same thing with the rentals and stuff like that. Wholesaling, you're not going to lose money because you're not putting anything up. Flips are where you lose money. So I wanted that thing sold and I wanted it sold quickly. So that worked on that. All the other ones that I showed you were owner financed properties. This is an owner financed property. This one was an owner financed property. Actually, no, that one was a flip. This one was an owner financed property where we came in on that and owner financed on this one as well. Okay. So I was always a big fan of doing, like, it doesn't really matter if you're owner financing or flipping it. You either are doing a good rehab or not, right? Was kind of a motto that I would hold to whenever we were doing these rehabs. Like, look, you're either doing a good at this point in time, I'm doing a lot of as-is houses because the market is dictating that we can do as-is right now. And we went over a really innovative and creative, I I don't know, but I guess then ultimately that's what it is, of how to do as-is properties and make sure that, especially if you're going to put somebody in that's going to work for equity, that they do the work, that the house gets fixed up the way that it was. We went over that at the last mastermind. If you're an executive member, you have all the recordings of previous masterminds, so you can go back and you can watch that. If you look to join the executives, you will get all the previous recordings of our previous masterminds and get some really killer stuff. While I'm on that note, we've got Mike Powell, who is Mitch Stevens' other half, who makes all the operations happen and actually kills it day in and day out. He's a dude, incredible mind, an incredible worker. He's going to be coming out to this next mastermind, which is August 26th and 27th. So you still have time to get in. We've got like 5 seats left that I can fill with this. So CreativeCashFlow.com/memberships. If you're trying to take your business to the next level, you want to be in a community of people that are doing owner financing consistently, creatively, and ethically, we'd love to have you in there. Check that out, CreativeCashFlow.com/memberships. I'll talk to you on the interview then. But again, if you are an executive watching and you want some reminders of how to do that as is kind of selling stuff, we did go over that in that last mastermind. And again, that's been the only way that I've let somebody get in there working for down payment and still had a good property at the end of the day. But Tommy, thank you. I got fires and 100 emojis. That makes me feel good. That's I've made it. As long as I get some fire emojis, I know that we're killing it here. But I hope that you guys see what I'm talking about there, right? You save your money where you can. You spend your money. When you spend, you've got to speed up your sale, or you've got to get a return on that. You saw how I went through, and I've got materials I like using. But I also like to spice things up a little bit, right? It wasn't the same rehab in each house. Sure, I really like that Alaskan white tile, really like that kind of wavy accent tile, but you saw I was using different flooring materials, different colors, different, things like that. Look at what's appropriate for what the comps are telling you that you need. Do you need granite or do you need Formica? How is that finish out done? And compare your rehab to that if you're going to get that price. Bucks here and there on tile on a backsplash and on a tub surround. That's the areas where you can get some extra money in there, and it will speed up your sale without it having to necessarily be a return. The fear of saying, hey, you've got to make your sale faster, is that you can really go down a bad road on that. You can be like, well, it'll sell faster if I put skylights in here. It'll sell faster if I do. Don't talk yourself too hard into that. When I say sell faster, I mean spending a little bit extra money on the bathroom or shower. I'm sorry, the bathroom or kitchen. That's what I'm talking about, right? Don't put some crazy, hey, I'm going to put this $1,000 chandelier in because somebody's really going to want to. I'm talking about backsplash tiles. I'm talking about a little flair here and there in those 2 areas to help you sell it more quickly. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm always open for questions. You can drop them into the comments section. I will try to come back through and answer those as they go through. But thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm Grant Kemp from Creative